He has won world championships. He has broken records that stood for decades. He has done things in a Formula One car that made the entire sport stop and stare. But there is one place on Earth where none of that matters. One place where trophies are irrelevant, where reputation means nothing, where the only question is simple: do you survive long enough to finish? The Nürburgring Nordschleife, and Max Verstappen has unfinished business there. Most racetracks are controlled environments, smooth surfaces, predictable corners, safety margins designed by engineers. The Nürburgring is none of those things. It is 25 kilometers of mountain road carved through a German forest, over 150 corners, elevation changes that make the ground disappear beneath you, blind crests where you commit before you can even see what is waiting on the other side. The weather changes without warning. Fog rolls in from the valley, rain falls on one section while another stays dry, and you are not racing clean air. You are racing amateur drivers, factory teams, GT cars, and everything in between, all on the same strip of asphalt, at the same time, sometimes in complete darkness. Drivers who mastered every circuit in the world have come to the Nürburgring and been humbled, not because they lacked speed, because this place does not reward speed alone. It demands patience, judgment, survival instinct. They call it the green hell for a reason, and it has been swallowing legends since before Formula One was born. When Max Verstappen came to the Nürburgring 24 hours, he did not arrive as a tourist. He arrived as a competitor, serious, focused, willing to prove something. And for a time, it looked like he might do exactly that. The pace was there, the commitment was there, everything you would expect from a man who had dominated the most demanding championship in motorsport. But the green hell is patient. It waits. And when the moment came, it was not the track that stopped him. It was not a mistake, not a lapse in judgment, not a driver reaching his limit. It was the machine, a mechanical failure, the kind of ending that leaves no closure, no lesson to process, no moment of acceptance, just silence and unfinished business. He was not beaten by the Nürburgring. He was denied by the car beneath him. And that distinction matters more than most people realize. Formula One made Max Verstappen famous, but the Nürburgring could make him complete. Think about what these two worlds actually test. Formula One tests speed, precision, the ability to extract the absolute maximum from a machine built specifically around you. A controlled environment, a known quantity. The Nürburgring tests something different. It tests whether you can adapt when the environment refuses to adapt to you. It tests patience over 24 hours, not 90 minutes. It tests the ability to manage risk when the consequences are not a penalty point or a time loss, but something far more serious. Winning there would mean Max Verstappen does not just dominate the sport designed for him. It would mean he can walk into a world with different rules, different dangers, different demands, and still come out standing. That is rare. Senna had it, Schumacher had it, Prost had it in a different way. The greatest drivers of any generation were not just fast on Sundays in Formula One. They were racers, complete racers. Winning the Nürburgring would be Max placing himself in that conversation, not with statistics, but with proof. Legacy is a strange thing in motorsport. Championships are recorded, wins are counted, records are cataloged. But the moments that define a driver, the ones people still talk about decades later, are rarely the expected victories. They are the ones that required something beyond talent, the ones that required the driver to go somewhere uncomfortable, somewhere outside the structure that made them great. The Nürburgring is that place for Max Verstappen, not because he needs it to justify his Formula One career. That career speaks for itself, but because there is one version of Max Verstappen who is simply an extraordinary Formula One driver, and there is another version, one who went to the green hell, faced the unpredictability, survived the hours, and came back to the beginning of that track, first. That version of Max Verstappen is not just a champion. That version is something rarer. A driver who conquered racing itself, not one category of it, all of it. The green hell does not care who you are. It does not care about your trophies, your championships, or your fastest laps. It only recognizes one thing: whether you finished. Max Verstappen did not finish his story at the Nürburgring.